What's up, everybody? It's RGTRam. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make R&B beats for Calliucci's and Mariah the Scientist. First, I like to start off with a simple piano chord progression. To start off today's beat, we will be using the scale of D minor. Today we'll be working in a 1, 7, 3, 5, 6 chord progression. This means that the root note of each chord is D, C, F, A, and A sharp. Here's what the piano soloed sounds like. Next, I then layered those same chords with a stock pad from Xenology called Warmth Pad. After that, I do the same thing in a pad I made in Analog Lab. Here's what the pounds sound like together. Now here's the kicker that changes the whole melody itself. I then add a vocal sample from Splice that will serve as the counter melody of the entire loop. Like last video, I put it through this exact plugin chain that I use for a lot of my background vocal samples. First, I do a high and low pass cut of my vocals, and then I run it through Fruity Low Filter to further drown out the vocals. After that, I add Fruity Reverb for a long distant reverb. Here's what the vocal sample filtered sounds like. After that, I ended up adding a descending pitch accent and a melodic riser to add some accents and phrases to the beat. Here's what they sound like together. After that, I perform my bass line. Using the root notes of each chord, D, C, F, A, and A sharp, I make a bass line with a long Moog sounding bass, and just like that, your melody's finished. Here's what the bass line sounds like. Here's what the melody sounds like all together. After you're done with your melody, we can now move on to the drums. For this beat, I decided to run every drum sound through a light but long and decay reverb to make it sound like you're in a cave or hearing it in the tunnel. For the kicks, I laid them down 4 on the floor due to the chords landing where they were placed. This makes it so every time a chord is played, the kicks are playing at the same time. Here's what the kicks sound like together. Next, we move on to the hi-hat. I have it set where it doesn't hit on the 1, it hits on the upbeat after the 1. This gives the beat swing. Here's what the hi-hats sound like by themselves. Next, we will move on to the snare. The placement of where I put the snare is quite average, but what I did to keep it unique is use a reverb snap on top of it. This gives it a lot of dimension and further makes it sound like you're hearing it from a cave or tunnel. Here's what the snare sounds like. Next, I add accent drum sounds like a tom percussion and an open hi-hat. I then finish it off with a crash, which is delayed at 1/2 time. And just like that, you have a finished beat. Here's what the drums sound like isolated. Here's the final playthrough of the beat. Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, please like, subscribe, and comment. I will see you guys next week.